One. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gooners Gone Wild podcast. It has ended. Arsenal 2, Sevilla 1 in the UCL, the UEFA Champions League. It was an away day. Our boy Frimpong was touring the city of Seville, and thankfully, because he was enjoying the vibes over there, the vibes rubbed off to the players, and we got a 2-1 win at Sevilla. So, Ari, Doc, welcome in. How you guys feeling? You guys just nodded at the same time. That was wild.
I was gonna say it's too bad our number one Sevilla traveler isn't here today.
Oh yeah.
But he did have some words for the pod today. He said his defendant is innocent. That's all he had to say. He couldn't be here tonight because he had some other things going on. But
I don't know how innocent he actually is, bro. I don't think he's that innocent, bro. He did not put his hand on the Bible.
He has not put his hand on the Bible.
Overall, I think it was actually a really fun match to watch. I only got to watch part of it because I was working, but the parts that I did get to watch, it seemed like a really good match. It was a little bit more back and forth. I did get to catch the end. It was squeaky bum time, but overall, honestly, a very good 3 points for us. Getting an away win, UCL match, very tough place to play, and now we've played away at probably two of the toughest places in our group.
Yeah.
Being Lens and Sevilla. So I think we have that going for us. What about you, VK?
No, yeah, for sure. I was seeing on Twitter because just like you, Doc, I was also working throughout the game, so I was only able to catch a majority of the first half. The second half, I didn't even get the chance to see at all. So, thankfully, Paramount Plus got me covered on YouTube. Get to see the highlights, but I'm trying to remember where I was going to go with this. Oh yeah, I seen on Twitter that it was a demanding commending a performance, a very good performance from the boys. I actually tend to disagree. I feel like we kind of got cooked a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Do I think we were the better team? Absolutely. I definitely think we were the better team on the night. However, I don't think it was as dominant as some people say. I'm looking at the possession. We got outpossessed. I think for the first time this season. I can't remember the last time we got outpossessed, even in certain losses. I mean,
We get outpossessed by City.
I don't think so.
I think it was close.
I think we might have been. I think it was like 51-49 or something. But
Either
I'll
or,
put it up right
it's
now.
a very rare sight that we see
Yeah, for sure.
nowadays.
Big brain Ari pulling out the That's wild. Keep going.
But no. I you know what? But it was supposed to be hard. I would be worried for Sevilla if it wasn't hard for us. If we came to your backyard in a very historical stadium in a very historical town and just wiped you. That would have been, I think, a very telling, worrying sign for Sevilla. But hey, man, we got the result, top of the table. That's all we asked for, and we move. But let's talk about the game a little bit.
I didn't get to go.
I thought you did. Oh, my fault. Go ahead, Ari.
No, you're good. I was watching the game with the boys on Discord. There's still one thing I noticed, and like big ups to Sevilla fans is they were singing the entire
It was
game.
wild.
You could hear them the entire game, just like drums, and the one guy is just leading the chants, leading the songs, and like throughout the entire. I don't think I heard for a single minute they stopped singing. So I think that's a really big ups to the Sevilla fans, and the passion that they have for the game and their club. So. That was really cool to see, and I think that coming into an atmosphere like that is difficult to play against. And I mean, like we've said, like Sevilla aren't a bad side, and they could have put a result away from that game. We were just a little bit more clinical with our chances, so it's the reason we walked away with 3 points. But yeah, I'd probably agree with Mark. I think it was a commendable performance in terms of how we did defensively, but possessing and attacking and playing our style of football, it just wasn't quite there tonight or yesterday night. So
A bit flat.
For sure. for sure. And my apologies again. I thought you led the charge off. That was my
No,
fault.
it's okay.
But yeah, so let's talk about the first 20 minutes of the game. Raya had 3 very crucial errors that he had to get bailed out of. I don't even believe that he was the one that bailed himself out of. Maybe 1, if I can remember correctly. But, I mean, man, this is what we said in the previous pod.
You were this close to getting red-assed.
I was this close to getting red-assed.
On three separate occasions.
Match day mayhem. We almost had our first match day mayhem victory, or I guess payoff. I guess we could say, but it's just, we've been talking about this type of performance from Raya for it's been what, a month now.
Yeah,
and
pretty consistently at least 1, and now those errors are increasing.
That's a red flag for me. I mean, how do you guys feel about that first 20 minutes?
It's nervy because, in my opinion, if that is a city, Liverpool, another top side with clinical finishers, we're down 2-0. Potentially. At least down 1-0. Because if you give another team possession whenever your players are out of position in an attacking formation, in like forward on the pitch, everybody's wide. Obviously, you'd have Tomiyasu in the middle, stuff like that. But whenever you are not focused on defending in your low block, compact positions, you're giving another team to have a counter on you and have a free shot on goal, essentially, or at least a better opportunity to score. And Raya gave them almost 3 opportunities to do that in very quick succession.
Very preventable opportunities. Not even like
he's getting pressed and like there's a lot of pressure on him. Yeah,
very preventable. I don't know. Go ahead, Ari.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, like we said in the last podcast, like I just don't know what it takes for Arteta to drop him and give Rambo another chance. It is very worrisome. Just moving forward, I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, we've said it so many times.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
It might be until he actually gets until we actually concede 1 or 2 times from his mistakes before he gets pulled. Because we haven't. I mean, we've conceded 1.
But you can argue that it wasn't his fault though.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. It will have to be a blatant issue where he gives the ball away and boom.
Like the Palmer and Alvarez situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we with how close the top of the table is, we cannot afford to have him cost us 3 points. So I can't see why Arteta just keeps giving him opportunities to make those mistakes. It's frustrating.
Part of it could be as well, I mean, what Arteta is telling him in certain matches.
I'll say something real quick.
Down. Oh. Can you guys hear me?
You cut out.
You cut out.
Okay, yeah. Y'all just completely froze and I just stopped talking. I was waiting for my internet to kick back on. I don't know if it's something to do with how Arteta is coaching our keepers to possess or slow certain games down. Like against Man City, he had Raya try and slow the game down as well and basically hold on to the ball as long as he could until spaces opened up. I don't know if that's just becoming a trend with all of our matches now, but there are times where he just sits on the ball too long. And he's just making errant passes. Now, we've seen Ramsdale do the same thing. We have. But why don't we just give the guy another chance?
Well, and to build off of that, I genuinely think that when Ramsdale... You said we've seen Ramsdale make those mistakes too, but Ramsdale is a no-nonsense keeper where when he does make those mistakes, he solves them. He doesn't panic. With Raya, there's so much panic. With Ramsdale, it's cool, calm, collected. Oh shit, I made a mistake. I'm just going to boot this no matter where it goes. Whereas Raya, he tries to overcompensate. He tries to, I think with the Palmer one, he pulled it back one direction, realized there wasn't a a person available, realized he was on the press, so he tried to pull it back a different direction. Just kick the fucking ball, dude. You know what I mean? Like, just boot it. But like you said, I agree. Depends on what Arteta is saying. So
I think it's also hard because we don't see how they are in training and what they're doing in training. Maybe Raya just looks a lot better in training. Maybe he looks like he's putting more effort in, or he just in general is making more saves or better saves in training. So maybe he's seeing qualities in him in training that we're not seeing. But in the games, we keep seeing the same thing, and it's frustrating. So
is training going to
I'm
give you the
frustrated
points?
that
Sorry,
exactly.
sorry. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, you're good. No, that's perfect.
I'm not
But
saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying, like, in Arteta's view, does training give you the points?
no, but you're gonna give playtime to players that are training
I know,
well
I
to
know.
show like. But I completely understand what you're saying. I'm very frustrated that we have to keep on talking about this. It's kind
yeah,
of annoying. I feel like it's a broken record that we have to keep on coming back to this
Yo,
and talking about it. And
Havertz.
granted, we didn't. Like,
Yeah, Havertz is in his bedroom, like fist bumping because we haven't talked about him in so long.
yeah,
Like, because he's been
because
doing the
Arteta's
business.
created and
Yeah,
Arteta's created more of a controversy than needs to be. And maybe it is a controversy. Maybe this is Arteta's way of saying, "Hey, look, this is my number one keeper now. Ramsdale's out." And unfortunately, that means that there are a long list of top clubs, Bayern Munich, Chelsea's in for him, going to be looking at him in January and maybe in the summer to bring him in instead of them having Robert Sanchez. Like, if this keeps on happening and Ramsdale doesn't get time, he has Euros coming up. He's going to want to get playing time.
yeah.
And we can't blame him for wanting to leave. He is Arsenal through and through, though. That's the thing. I know he wants to fight for his place, but he's going to want playing time.
Absolutely.
And a club that wants him is going to pick him up. So I don't know if this is Arteta just being like, this is our number one keeper now. This is who we're going to ride or die with. Or if this
Fucking
is
hope not.
him experimenting like he did the first 4 matches of the season with our back line a little bit. But, all right, let's talk about some positives. I'm tired of talking about some of the negatives. Let's see here. First goal, Martinelli. What'd you guys think? 45th minute or 48th minute? What'd you guys think?
I mean, I saw a comment saying that all three Gabbies were involved, and that makes me laugh. It's so funny. Fucking center back Gabby clearance into Jesus, who makes a cheeky little turn and slots him in behind. Um, I think it's a really big boost for Martinelli. Um, I think a lot of fans should be happy that he bagged one in the Champions League nonetheless, because after coming back from such a big injury like he had, it sets you back mentally, and I think that'll be a really big boost for him and his confidence going forward, um, because that was a very difficult time for him, and coming back from that injury, it'll be big for him. So I'm glad, and he's so young too. Like
Oh yeah.
at that age, I think when you see your colleagues playing levels above you, playing in the Champions League, and you dream of playing at that stage, and we haven't been there for 4 or 5 years since he joined the club. I think it's really big, not just for him as well, but for everyone else on the team. So yeah,
Big up to him as well because he had a really, really good chance to score earlier in the game.
the same exact
And then,
opportunity almost.
yep, and then
Yeah,
he missed. Got another opportunity, bagged.
Bagged it. Yeah.
What about you,
very
Deacon?
cool, calm, collected, dribbled
Mhm.
around the keeper. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no, dude, that was counter-attacking football at its textbook's finest.
hmm
That was filthy. Like Ari mentioned, all three Gabbies involved, which is I'm collecting all the Gabbies and I'm gonna make you mine. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But no, the clearance from Gabriel out to Jesus, and then we got to give flowers to Jesus. That was if that could be as close of a 10 of a 10 out of 10 performance, I would allow that I would give. I mean, obviously it wasn't perfect, but that first touch, which was already difficult because it's pinged so far up in the air with pace, to then drag like a Cruyff. That was a Cruyff, right? A Cruyff turn or Cruyff chop into an immediate through ball. Sensational.
Yeah.
Sometimes the assist is
And
prettier than the goal. So go ahead, Doc.
exactly. No, that was beautiful assist. And I mean, we know Gabby's pace. Once he's off like that, if he has one or two steps on you, unless you drag him down, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's actually really funny because if you watch the goal back, he even slows down a little and then bursts back to full speed, and they're still miles away. Sergio Ramos's old ass was not catching up to him. Like, it was just not, dude. And shout out Sergio
No
Ramos.
injuries.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh.
Jesus. Oh, never mind.
He's good.
I almost
He's
said,
good. He's good. He's good. There was a report today that said that he was good. So
Yeah?
yeah.
I saw that he was getting imaging or scans done, and
Yep.
he didn't feel like it was too bad, or he would be fine. It might be a little bit of a tweak, little knock. We might miss him for a week or so, but he'll be back.
They
And we don't
said
have to worry
that.
about having Nketiah for a whole freaking 2 months.
I think I saw somewhere that he might even still be in contention for Sheffield. So I'm really
Doesn't need
not
to be.
too worried. But again, if he doesn't need to be, I'm not also worried because that is
Havertz up top, baby.
yeah. Havertz up top. Whoa.
Honestly.
Whoa. I thought you said Nketiah there for a second.
Havertz up top, baby.
Havertz
Oh,
up
yeah.
top.
Partey in the middle with Rice and Odegaard.
I think Jesus is showing he's a big game player again. Like
Yeah.
on the Champions League stage, he's
Yeah.
so clinical, such a good player on in those big games. So I'm glad that he scored and assisted last night.
Yeah.
Perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
Jesus. Let's go straight to that Jesus goal. Take it away, VK.
Oh. like Cantona said about Mesut Ozil's goal against Ludogorets, pure footballing orgasm. I mean, first of all, we need to give kudos to Tomiyasu because Tomiyasu was the person that kept the throw in right there. You know what I mean? Like, not the throw on, the press right there to lead to the throw in to lead to the mistake. And then, oh my God, that finish was filth. When you're almost parallel to the goal, when you're facing parallel to the goal, and then you're able to bend it in top right, like, sheesh. That was young Joga Bonito-esque. But, oh my goodness, it was a filthy finish. I think it was 2 or 3 Sevilla defenders on the ground. Not like actually on the ground, but left them trailing pretty badly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Jesus we know. That's the Jesus that when he's playing it at his full confidence and when he's playing at his full fitness, that's the finishes that we're going to see. You know, you look at the City game, again, I think he was just playing up to the occasion a little bit. I think in previous games before that, he was still trying to be careful with his injury. Obviously, I mean, nothing wrong with that, but he was still playing a little reserved. Last night, he was unlocked, and it was filth. It was filth. That's all I can say. Goal of the night, I would even say UCL goal of the week, contender at least. I need to look at some of the other highlights. I know Copenhagen won't be on them, but you know it is what it is. But Ari, what is?
Wire, mate.
Ari, how about you? How do you feel about that goal?
I mean, he's just a clinical footballer. I mean, he's so good in those tight spaces, dribbling between defenders, or like I think there were 3 defenders around him. He just gets the shot off right before he gets tackled. So it's just it's his style of football. He's got that Brazilian flair.
Yeah.
Just tight, close control dribbling, and then he's not really known for his finishing, but I mean that's a top class finish. Just put it in the top right corner. I mean, unsavable. It's really, really well done from him. So big ups to him coming off the injury and proving himself on the stage once again. And it's happy to see it. I'm happy to see him like this because he said. We saw numerous interviews saying he feels like he's at home now at Arsenal. Like he feels like he's at a place where he belongs and he's enjoying his football again. So to see him bagging goals on the stage, on the biggest stage, I'm happy for him. So.
And you mentioned earlier, like his Champions League performances have been stellar. Bagging
not just for us, but for City as well.
Right. Yeah, bagging a goal in all 3 of our fixtures so far, which is insane consistency. And
Mhm.
like you said, like that's his platform. Champions League is his platform. And the fact that we're able to say that about a player is already class, because we didn't say that in the Europa League. We didn't say that in the Champions League. We may have said it about Sanchez and Ozil back in the day, but we haven't said that in a very long time.
Mhm.
So to have a player of that caliber playing at that level so consistently is massive for us. So you hit
And
the
he's stepping up when other players are are lagging behind a little bit. I mean, a little bit quiet from Odegaard and a little bit quiet from Saka yesterday, um, who are usually very lethal for us. But he's stepping up when they're not. So it's good that we have players who can step up and really um, command the game and take it by the throat.
yeah,
Mhm.
for sure, for sure.
Sure.
All right, Doc, how about you, man?
Like we have Saka cutting in on his side and curling it back post. Now we have Jesus or Gabby cutting in
Or Trossard.
and or Trossard and cutting in on the other side. And just like you had said, the thing that I like most about our front three is when one isn't performing, usually the other one or two are having a class game.
Yeah,
So they're sharing the load. Now, Jesus might not be that goal scorer that's going to give you 20, 25, 30 goals a season, but goal contributions, he will give you 20, 25, 30 goal
no,
contributions a
yeah,
season, whether that be him scoring or assisting. Because he, Gabby, Saka just cycle. And he does so well with that. With I think he brings out the best in Martinelli whenever he's playing on the left. Because he and Martinelli cycle so well. Something that we don't see as much whenever Nketiah is on. I think Gabby struggles a little bit more out on the left. But again, I think not only is he playing better and it feels like home, him being at Arsenal, I think a quote came out from him talking about our belief in ourselves winning the Premier League. He was telling the players and the team, like, look, we have to believe it that we can win the Premier League. If not, why are we here?
yeah.
Essentially. So he's stepping up as a leader with his experience that he's had from City and playing and winning Premier League titles and going far in the Champions League year after year as well. So I think he's going to be a big, big player for us this season. The one thing that I would like to see though is him having a bit more consistency and seeing a bit more clinical finishing from him in the Premier League. It's great
Mm,
that he's doing it in the Champions League. I'd just like to see that transition over to the PL as well.
yeah, for sure. And then just to quickly segue into the one little danger area. Godelj, who was responsible for the mistake that led to the Jesus goal, immediately atoned 5 minutes after with a beautiful header from a corner. Um, Looking back at it, you can be critical. You can say that, okay, the defense fell asleep a little bit. It's just a great goal. I mean, he's a towering center back. He was commanding in the air.
Well
To
placed header.
I think it was just a well worked goal. I don't. You can always be critical of something, but
Mhm.
you know what I mean. I just think at this
Mm,
point it just isn't that. But what did you guys think about the Sevilla goal?
uh, I think it came at the worst time because of commentators' curse. I think right before they scored, commentators were like, "Oh, Sevilla really need one back like soon if they're going to get back in this game." And then as soon as
Yeah.
they said that, they scored like a minute later, and I
Yeah,
was like, "Come
come
on, like,
on.
are we serious? Like,
Mhm.
really?" But uh, yeah, I mean, after that goal came, I think we struggled a lot. We just we just defended for the last 35 minutes. So it was tough to watch. And I understand why. We're away. Um, and we're playing two fixtures a week, so like I'm sure the boys are tired. Um, so it's going to be a difficult atmosphere to play in.
Yeah,
But it's so frustrating watching us defend 35 minutes of the second half. But the defense was stellar, so I mean, not too much to complain, and we walked away with the 3 points. So, but like you said, that's just a really good, well worked set piece. I think Jesus was marking him. I mean, the size difference is too large for him to make up. So he just gets towered over, and it is what it is. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Doc?
I think that even though it was a little bit more uncomfortable towards the end of the match, I think us being able, like, I was treating patients and listening to the match, and obviously I was forcing my patients to listen to the match while I was treating them. Um, and even though it was a little uncomfortable at times, it's a beautiful thing feeling confident knowing that your defense is good enough to close out a match like that. And having Saliba, Gabriel, and Tomiyasu, who I'm giving my player of the match to for that match, and then Ben White on the right, and then you're able to bring on a defender like Kiwior to help seal things up as well. It's very nice seeing a defense like this, comparing it to one that we had a little back in the day whenever it was the fixtures of 1-0 to the Arsenal and we were known for it closing out matches. Like if we scored, the game was over essentially because nobody was going to score on us. So it's nice knowing that we have a defense that can help us hold on to win even if another team is going to have more possession towards the end of the match. I'm pretty confident if we're up come 10, 15, 20 minutes, we'll hold it out. What about you, VK?
I mean, I kind of already said my piece. Just well worked set piece. Just unfortunately, it kind of gave Sevilla the belief to come back into the game. I think if we quite literally would have, I mean, we always say that 2-0 is the worst scoreline in football, but I mean, with how we were playing, I think if we would have just held off for like another 10, 15 before that first goal, I think they wouldn't have had the belief to come back and play as well as they did in the second half. But like you said, it's so much better seeing Gabriel and Saliba back there than Mustafi and Socrates, which was giving us nightmares for years. But shout out to Socrates. He might be signing a new deal
With Betis.
with Real
Betis.
Betis, as a free coming out of free agency. Shocking, but you know what? It's fine. Best of luck to him. I don't even know what Mustafi's doing these days. I don't really care, to be honest. But just really quickly, I really don't have anything else. This was just a kind of a straightforward. We showed up, we did the business, we left. Fortunately, no rain delays, no plane delays, which plagued us against the Lens match. The one thing I will say though is, if we win our next 2 matches, we are guaranteed knockouts. So that's huge for us. I'm excited to that. Now, obviously,
and two of the 3 are home. So
yeah, 2 of the 3 are home. And then, like we said earlier, the third away match is kind of in one of the least intimidating. I don't want to say it isn't intimidating, but one of the least difficult places to go in our group away. And we got to push for that top seed. The instant bid. What is it? The instant bid into the top 16. Is that what's happening now? Or quarters?
Is that this
I'm
year?
not entirely sure how it works, to be honest. I've always struggled with
Did the
format.
changes happen this year?
I'm unaware. I mean, if it's doing the changes, I think it's the automatic bid into the 16 or the quarters. But if it's the same, then we'll just go into the 32s, or 16s, sorry, and just hopefully boss it up. Hopefully we don't get Bayern or Barca, because they are quite literally cooking right now.
Worried. Not worried.
I'm a little worried about Bayern. Barca, I'm not. But any closing thoughts, lads? Let's do. You know what? Let's do man of the match real quick. So Doc, I'm gonna go back to you because I know you kind of already said it, but just your reasoning and such.
Oh yeah, Sue. I think we had talked about it in the pre-match for this about how we'd like to see him get a nod at left back because he's just been playing very well defensively and solid going into the attack. And we saw again exactly why he is getting playing time. He has been, along with Saliba, this season, one of the most consistent defenders that we've had coming on. And unfortunately for Zinni, I don't know if Tommy will be dropped anytime soon if he keeps on playing like that. And the big difference between Zinni and Tomiyasu, obviously, is the possession and technical ability and passing ability. But Tomiyasu is stepping up his game. He's already a better defender than Zinni, so it gives us more confidence at the back as well, knowing that we're going to have a better defender on that left side for whoever the right winger is. So just pure class, and we got him for what, 15 mil? It's
Something
turning out to
cheap.
be another Edu masterclass. Best business.
He's chefing at his barbecue. Chefing at his barbecue.
Exactly. What about you, VK? Who's your
um,
man of the match? Odegaard?
yeah, no. Fortunately, my boy Odegaard was quiet. Just to touch on that real quick, I just think
Yeah.
Odegaard and Saka are just tired. I don't think Saka is still fully fit, but he's fit enough to be playing. You could tell there's still a little bit of hesitancy, testing out that calf or hamstring or whichever it was. Which, as a young player, I don't blame him. You get a hamstring injury that young, it's hard to. It's a mental, like, injuries are all mental too. Like, it's not all mental, I shouldn't say that, but a big part of it is mental. And just Odegaard, man, like,
Like it's all in our head.
it's all in your head. Just say the pain's not there, it'll go away. um, but no, Odegaard, I mean, I think again he's just very, very tired. We saw him put a really big shift in off the ball at Chelsea, and I just think the quick turnaround from Sunday to Tuesday. It was Sunday, right, or Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Okay.
Thank you.
The quick turnaround from Saturday to Tuesday was, you could tell, was really difficult for
Yeah.
for him, and that's valid. I mean, if you look at his heat maps, he's running all over the gaff. He's pressing, leading. So I just think he was just a little tired. I'm not giving him an excuse. Just means he's got to work on his stamina, work on his fitness. But I think that played a big part. I don't think it was just like Sevilla. Like we talked about this pre-pod. I don't think Sevilla set up to eliminate Odegaard like how Chelsea did. But I would give my man of the match. See, me being an attacking player as a footballer, I would say Jesus.
That's a very fair shout.
I just, as Tomiyasu, obviously a very close second. I just think Jesus with the class assist and then the class finish, like it wasn't just like a tap in, like class all across the board. I'm just gonna give it to Jesus. I think he bossed it the other night. How about you, Ari?
I'm gonna go with neither of the ones that you guys gave it to.
Whoa.
I'm just gonna say Deckers, just because.
Yep, knew it.
I saw that.
That was gonna be my other one as well.
He just always puts in a solid performance. He's always all over the place, always making tackles, always making interceptions, just winning us the ball back. So, it's just I think he assisted on the Jesus goal as well. So I mean, it was a lot of Jesus doing the leg work, but I mean it was just a overlapping run and then he passed it to him. So technically an assist for Rice. But I don't know. I just like Rice a lot, and he's just such a stud in the midfield.
That's fair.
Always 7.0 rating or above. Like just always puts in a good shift. So
yeah, for sure.
For me, him. Yeah.
Just saw a quote this week. He wants to be on Vieira's level. Not Fabio Vieira. Put that out there. Patrick Vieira's level. Not saying Fabio Vieira's class, but
I was about to say.
Not saying he's that class. But
just this dude took out Vieira's legs, stepped on his chest, and just put a clip in him.
No. I don't mean it like that, but Patrick Vieira. Vieira.
Bro.
But that's big shoes to fill. But you know what? I'll be real. I
think he can do it.
I think he can do it.
The trajectory that he's on right now, with the consistency that he's playing at, and how big of a player he is for us at this point in time, I think he's gonna do it.
Look at his goals. He has 2 goals for the Arsenal. Winner against Man United. The first goal to kickstart the comeback against Chelsea. Those are 2 incredibly potentially season-defining goals from him. So,
way too early predictions. You heard it here first.
Oh, we're winning the league.
We're winning the league.
Decker's the next Vieira. Odegaard the next Ozil. We're winning the league. You heard it here first. And Eddie Nketiah to be the next Giroud. All right.
I thought you were gonna say like the next Yaya Sanogo or something. the next Nicholas Bentner.
The next Nicholas Bentner.
Happens to be the next Bentner.
Yeah, there you go. Real quick before we end it off, I just wanted to say a very class touch by Sevilla for honoring Jose Reyes before the game. Coming together, showing love to the Arsenal fans, showing love to Reyes' Arsenal time at Arsenal. There was a big mural displayed outside the stadium in honor of him, and I think that was just a really class touch. And Sevilla's not been the classiest of clubs, but that was a classy touch. And us as diehard Arsenal fans, I think we all really appreciated and enjoyed that. So, any other comments before we close out?
It was a very calm pod today because for those of you that don't know and have not watched our past two videos, this one is happening before 11 p.m.
It is happening before 11 p.m. And it's funny because they won't understand that because the pod that was after 11 p.m. doesn't come out until Friday. So yeah, so you won't understand.
It actually come out
beforehand. So therefore, go check out the pod 2 days. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it now. Do it now. I don't know which camera I'm pointing at. Do it now.
Subscribe, do all the good stuff, and keep supporting your boys.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Yeah, because the support has been incredible.
Yeah, it has.
The past couple weeks, more so than it usually has. So we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. You know what, Ari? Do the favor. Do the honors. Do the honors.
Come on, you Gunners, baby.
Yes, sir. Come on, you Gunners. Take it easy, y'all.